Okay, air conditioning update. Right now I've got my vacuum pump running, and it's pulled the system down to 30 bar, or mm, or HG, or whatever it's pulled it down to, it's there. And it looks like it's actually pulling a vacuum, which is cool. I put in an orifice tube, and the reason I didn't say I replaced an orifice tube is because there was no orifice tube. I have no idea what that means. I have no idea if this is going to work or not. I don't know where it was. I don't know why somebody would pull it out. I'm pretty sure you need it. Maybe it's just a filter, but thought it was an orifice. It's what takes all of the cooled down high pressure coolant and it sprays it through a wicked tiny hole. When it expands into the low pressure side, it gets super cold. That's the whole idea. No idea. Anyway, while I was doing this, I decided I should get my plow harness installed. And so that's what I've done. Got it running here, here. I've got my cables inside of here, inside of here. There'll be a separate video on this. Installed my isolation module there. I ran my wire through the firewall, and I have my solenoid installed here. What's left is to hook up power here, and I need to hook on accessory power, so ignition power, to this thing. This is the wire for my joystick. So obviously the seats are still out, but the dash is all back together. I've got kick panels and a glove box to put in, center console. Here's my bucket of wires. I think this is all for the old rig. It's all for the old rig. So what I'm doing now is I'm pulling down a vacuum. Why am I doing that? Well, the reason you do that is to get the moisture out of the system. And just bringing it to 30 will not do it. Yes, it's under vacuum, but in order to pull the moisture out, you should leave it all the way down at 30 for a half an hour to an hour, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, pick one. Obviously, the more you do it, the more moisture you'll pull out. What happens at super low pressure close to vacuum is that water boils. And so the water is boiling right now in the system, and it's making its way to the pump and out into the atmosphere. So I'm going to let that run, then I'm going to close the system, and I'm going to pray that it holds a vacuum. I don't know if it will or not. The thing is, I did that earlier, and it was at like 29, and then it was like 28.5, and so I'm just not sure. Maybe my gauges were leaking. So I was thinking that I had everything closed off. I was thinking that they were valves, but in fact they weren't valves, they were just different ports. So it was open all the way to the vacuum pump, which I'm not sure if it's supposed to be able to hold a vacuum. Blah, 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 blah. We're going to find out later. So I got 5 cans in it. And the high side valve is leaking. Pretty awesome, huh? So that was 50 bucks of Freon. Now has escaped into the garage atmosphere. That's a major bummer. Lights work. Plow thing's all hooked up. It's on keyed power. So I think I can replace this valve. It looks like it comes off. It's a good thing too, because that one looks like it doesn't. So maybe I can get a new high pressure valve and another $50 in Freon and try that. Luckily with this 134A, it's supposedly fine to release into the atmosphere. So don't get all worried. It's fine, they say. And who wouldn't trust they, really? So I'm exhausted. I've done nothing all weekend but this. Tired. Want to do something else. But I'll probably run down to the auto parts store and see if I can get a high pressure fitting after I call and make sure it's there. And five and a half more cans. Anyway, it blew cold for a while. I got 5 cans in, and it stayed blowing cold. I could tell it needed just a little bit more Freon. So, anyway, that's what's going on. The Suburban drives. Boy, I had a scare, though. I had forgotten, in order to get the dash down, I needed to put the transfer case in neutral. So I go to hop in to back it out, and the transmission was like, "Arr!" And I was like, oh no, I forgot to reconnect my shift lever or something. And I put it, luckily it was on the lift, I put it up in the air, looked at the shift lever, nothing I could see. I was like, oh no, it must be a plug that I forgot. Start tearing it apart. I didn't tear it apart. I started looking under the dash, and then I realized the transfer case was in neutral. I was like, oh. Anyway, thanks for watching. Suburban air conditioning, almost there. I'll let you know.